Hello, and welcome to the GitPod Local podcast, where we ask, do Democratic Socialists really want to get rid of Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Welcome to Get Pod Local.
Hi, my name is Jalon, and I keep up with the news for you.
And I'm Joey, and I keep up with the policy for you.
And together we help you vote smarter, not harder. And today we are... Oh, thank you. Did you write that? Okay, cool.
Today we are covering some hidden news and then talking to Representative Vikki Goodwin for Texas Lieutenant Governor, one of the most powerful offices in the state.
So we are going to start our episode like we do every episode, where we just take a little breather and we just ask a silly question and just keep it moving. In honor of our interview today, my question to you this week is, let's say you just got elected governor. What is the first thing you're doing day one?
I guess day one, I would repeal, because I think she could veto. So I think I would veto the school voucher program immediately. Because I think she could just veto that, I believe.
This is all make-believe.
No, true.
Yeah. My first thing, this will not surprise you. First day in the office, I'm legalizing weed. Enough of this bullshit. I'm legalizing it. Let's start competing against California and New Mexico with the best quality of weed.
Yep.
So I saw this yesterday. I believe he was either talking to Newsmax or Fox. So take that with the grain of salt that it needs to be having.
Who's he?
But thank you for asking. That would be our senator, Rafael Cruz, decided to scare Middle America over Democratic Socialists. And he said with a straight face, down the barrel, through the camera. And he said they want to cancel Thanksgiving. They want to cancel Christmas.
What? That's hilarious.
He said other things. But you know what? Let me see if I can play the video, because I want you to see how fucking for real he is when he says this. And Joey, you know me. I like to have a laugh. I want to giggle. But it was so crazy.
Insane.
That I just... Oh, sorry. You could probably hear all that. I was just stunned. I was just stunned into going, I don't know what... I was writing the Daily Brief. And I literally was like, I don't know what to do with this.
It's too funny.
I don't know where I could put this where it would make the most sense. God, I got it. I have a lot of
put
videos.
That clip in one of my DSA chats, man. That's hilarious.
I will send it to you because it is insane how, and all I kept thinking about was somebody's watching this and they believe him. I have so many videos. Sorry. Most of them are about Max Miller. I don't know if you saw this happening, but Max Miller, I guess his entire team quit because he has been on every show with every camera thinking he's helping himself, and he's just digging
his own.
It's fascinating. And as somebody who has dated enough dumb Ohio men, I didn't know they got that dumb. It was a shock to my system. God, I have so many videos here.
I love that while it's all going down, all the shit about him coming out, at the same time, what's her name put a whole new thing on him. Like, that guy's scary.
Yeah, and I could talk a little bit more.
Stephanie, or what's her name?
Grisham. Yeah. I have so many fucking videos here. It's crazy.
Are they all tabs?
No, it's when I've downloaded them from the interwebs, so that people who look at our newsletters years from now or even weeks from now and it's been deleted, it's still there.
Still see it.
Okay. Oh, it was Fox. Okay, let me try to play this. I don't have the words, Joey, to
Too funny.
Window. Okay, I hope this works because. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Is that where the energy is? They want to cancel Thanksgiving? If they're crazy enough, yes. They want to cancel Thanksgiving. They want to cancel Christmas. Look, these communists hate America. They hate capitalism. Syed is also an Islamist, as is Mandani. And look, you see the green-red convergence where the communists and the Islamists, they want Sharia law, they hate Jews, they hate Christians, they hate capitalism, they hate America. All of this is coming together in a way that is really a toxic, toxic stew.
Okay, before I take this off the screen, look at the makeup job on our. He's got bronzer. Jesse's got blush.
Jesse's all done.
He's got the perfect highlight region where they like lighten up underneath the eyes and then they're contouring around. And I would hedge to bet that he's been dyeing his hair for a long time because the black has been blacking for a long time, which is
it's
out of context is crazy.
Man, Cruz just looks like a really fat Wolverine. Like, I don't know what else to call him.
We gotta play this again because I just want to point out to how serious just look at him. He's so serious.
He is.
Is that where the energy is?
Is that where the energy is?
Thanksgiving?
They're crazy enough, yes. They want to cancel Thanksgiving. They want to cancel Christmas. Look, these communists hate America. They hate capitalism. El Sayed is also an Islamist, as is Mandami. And look, you see the green-red convergence where the communists and the Islamists, they want Sharia law. They hate Jews. They hate Christians. They hate capitalism. They hate America. All of this is coming together in a way that is really a toxic, toxic stew.
I'm going to say something real quick. I remember my first college socialism class, Intro to Socialism, and I still have the textbook up here. And the book is called America Needs Human Rights to this day, right? Wow. And I was in that class in 1999, and that was a textbook, right? And we went around the classroom and she was taking a temperature test to see where we kind of were. And she asked how much race affected people's lives. And she said, do not say, she said this, and yet somebody still said it at the end. She said, I don't want to hear some of my best friends are black. To which I say, Joey, some of my best friends are Jewish.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't hate Jewish people.
No.
Look behind me. I don't hate capitalism. Also, a lot of these books, Christmas gifts. I have Thanksgiving specific shirts that I like to wear the week of Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving.
Love Thanksgiving. Love Christmas. Love Thanksgiving.
I just don't think that should break the bank. And I don't think that Walmart should put out a box for you to put perishable things so that their employees can have a Thanksgiving dinner. That's the difference.
Exactly. I want to point out something that he did, though. He did a thing that attorneys do when they're politicians. Because he knows that when he answered that question, the person said, do they want to do that? He said, if they're that crazy. And then he went on, because then when he gets harassed, he'll be like, you're taking it out of context. I just meant if they were that crazy. And maybe they're not. Like, so he created this out for himself. And then he said the craziest shit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid and gross. And I hate seeing politicians do that stuff.
Yes. Fascinating though.
No, truly. So funny.
Fascinating. It's so fascinating because I struggle with this. Sometimes I'm sitting in the room and I'm like, am I the smartest person here? Cause like, how do people fall for this? Nobody, when Thanksgiving comes along, nobody is saying, I don't even want this thing. What we do say is, the story we tell about Thanksgiving is not true and has been completely whitewashed. Hand me the mashed potatoes. That's the conversation. Democratic leads socialist. Democratic socialist. You cannot drop the Democrat when you're talking about the group of people of which we are part of.
Yeah.
We are Democrats who believe we believe that people should not go in debt over things you need to survive as a human being.
That's right.
Food should not be crazy. Housing should not be crazy. We shouldn't have to fight to have clean water and air.
No. Yeah, it's saying like democratic. So we believe that the people are the ones who should have the say in what things are going to happen in the country, but socialist because we believe that our government should support the people. And like you're saying, we shouldn't have to strive to not die of cancer, because we can't see a doctor.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to, and this is happening a lot frequently. I shouldn't have to decide between paying my rent and having health insurance. And we know what people are choosing, rent. We know they're choosing that. And now we're in medical debt. To Representative Goodwin's point, even the CEO of GoFundMe said that has you can see that has become health care for people. And that was not the intention.
GoFundMe is healthcare now. That's basically what GoFundMe is.
Yeah.
It's what everyone uses when someone ends up sick. I mean, it shows how broken we are.
Yeah. And not what it was intended. Neighbors helping neighbors. Hey, I want to support you. You don't need this, but this is how I can help you. But now it's, I need this. Please help me. Yeah.
Chime.
So to that, I say, hey, stop saying Texans voted for this. We didn't.
No, we did not. We just didn't vote.
We just didn't vote. Girl, I was laughing. I was like, I need to laugh at this because it's funny. But there's somebody sitting on their lazy boy who actually believes what he is saying.
You know what's interesting, though, is to think about how they always have a boogeyman that side, because they're always trying to scare us. They use fear as their number one way to get people to vote. 100% of the time, Republicans lean on fear. And so they always have to have a boogeyman. And I do find it fascinating that it feels like all of a sudden, just in the past month, they've stopped talking about trans people, because I feel like the answers from our side have been really good. This is nonsense. And you were making this up. This is a non-issue. And I feel like it's faded. And so they're like, wait, we need a new boogeyman. And they have really jumped on DSA just this month. They've gone crazy.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. Please, people.
And imagine just believing a man with a full makeup beat.
I know.
When his own mother doesn't even like his show. So what are we doing? What are we doing here? I just have to ask, does he have a humiliation kink?
He must do. So gross.
We don't kink shame, but when you are affecting my life based on how you need to get your rocks off, leave me out of it.
No matter who wins this fall, he will become our senior senator.
Ugh.
Because he is currently the junior senator.
I know.
The senior senator.
I know.
Gross.
Girl. And I'm also frustrated how close the race is between Tallarico and Paxton.
How?
I'm not going to crash out. I'm not going to crash out yet. Joey and I just had a fantastic conversation with Representative Vikki Goodwin, who is running for Lieutenant Governor of Texas. In fact, she has been running for this office since 2024. That's how serious she is about this. So check this out.
Thank you so much for coming, Rep. Goodwin. We really appreciate it. And I wanted to start off with how I have met you, which is through the Funky East Dallas Democrats. I'm wearing a Feds t-shirt today. You first came and spoke to the Feds about running for this office in July, over 2 years ago, July 2024. I know that because it was at an event. We were having a fundraiser for Kamala Harris, who at the moment had just become our nominee for president. And we were like, whoa, she's here to talk about a race that's in 2026? And we were sort of all like, wow. And I just have been so impressed with that you've been so committed to this particular race, this exact seat. You knew that Lieutenant Governor was your seat and you've been going after it for years. And then just last night, I was at another Feds event and this kid sitting next to me, very young, new organizer. He's their DSA and everything. And they were like, I was excited to hear them talking about your race and saying they were excited to support Vikki Goodwin. And again, just being a young person new to the whole thing, I was really excited that they knew about your race and they were excited about the issues you're covering. So welcome, Rep. Goodwin. We're really excited to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that's great to hear that young people are excited about the race.
First, before we get started, because we want to get into your story and what made you decide to run this, but I do want to give you your flowers for yesterday showing up to Tarrant County and speaking out on them trying to reduce a voting location. So I wanted to thank you for taking the time out to go to that meeting and try to speak up for those constituents in that area. That was something that we needed a lot of people to show up for, not just the citizens of Tarrant County, but we needed our reps. And so I just wanted to personally thank you for doing that, because that was a thing that was deserving of fighting for sure. And
yeah. To me, it's unconscionable that the Tarrant County judge was trying to close down 140 polling locations for the midterm election when they have 80,000 newly registered voters in their county. It's obvious voter suppression, and they even were trying to close down polling locations on college campuses. So
Exactly.
thankfully, we put enough pressure on them that they delayed the vote. They're going to go back to the drawing board, find some more polling locations. I think they need to get it up to the 300 and something polling locations that they had in the prior election. I don't think that they'll get there, but at least it won't be the 176 that they were proposing.
And it's so obvious what they're trying to do when one of the pockets that they're trying to get rid of is on campuses. It's like,
right.
we
Yeah.
see
They're
what
trying
you're
to keep
doing.
young people.
Yeah.
Very clear. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, for our viewers that do not know you, could you just tell us a little bit about who you are that led up to you deciding to, one, get into politics, and two, run for this office?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Dallas. My mom was very influential in my life. She was a Dallas school board member, and she was always involved in public education. She was a really strong public school supporter. Her big complaint was that it's not the school board that decides how much money the districts get and whether they can give teachers adequate raises and so forth, but it was the Texas legislature, which is underfunding our public schools. That was in 1990, and the same thing is true now. In 2016, when Trump got elected, like so many people, I just was in shock, and I said, I've got to do something more. I was in business, had a small business, a residential real estate company, but I just felt like it was my time to step forward, run for office. And the Texas legislature is where I fit in because I wanted to make sure that we were funding our public schools better. My kids went through the public schools in Austin, and Austin has struggled over the years with having to send so much money back to the state in recapture payments, which, people are happy to share the wealth if we feel like we're getting what we need in our district. And of course, people were not feeling, and still today don't feel like we're getting what we need in our district to do the best for our kids. And then getting into the legislature, I came to understand that until we have different leadership, a new governor and a new lieutenant governor, we're not going to make the significant changes that we need to for public education or healthcare. One of the things that I talk about all the time right now is healthcare, because so many people are feeling like their insurance costs are so high. They don't know if they can continue to have health insurance coverage or go to the doctor. So many people put off going to see the doctor because they worry about the expense. So many people have had to create GoFundMe pages to pay for healthcare, and that's just terrible. It's like we're in a third world country, but we're in the 8th biggest economy. So why can't we do this? We should be able to make sure everyone has affordable healthcare.
Yeah. When I saw that nurse walking down from hiking with a hiking pole in his body because he didn't want to get an ambulance or airlifted out, I was like, okay, I think we've collectively lost the plot here.
It's out of control. Can you tell us too? I know people always say that the lieutenant governor seat is the most powerful seat in Texas. Can you explain why that is?
Yeah, well, the governor is executive, but for any law to get onto his desk to begin with, for him or her, it will be her, to approve or veto, it has to go through the Senate. It has to go through both the House and the Senate. But the lieutenant governor basically controls the Senate, what bills are heard, what committee they go to, who the leadership in the Senate is. And the lieutenant governor also has a big role in how our tax dollars are spent. The current lieutenant governor was all about vouchers, and was basically the way that we got vouchers passed was through the current lieutenant governor. So for people who are concerned about their public schools and the underfunding of our public schools, we need a new lieutenant governor. It's a very powerful position here in the state of Texas.
So what made you wake up one day and say, okay, it's going to be me. I'm going to run for this office?
I feel like Texas is such a big state. It's hard for us to get people all around the state to know who it is that's running for these statewide positions. And I think the advantage of someone being in the legislature running for office means that you've already got this network of colleagues who are in the House and Senate who can help. And I've really used that. In fact, last night I went up to I was in Fort Worth for that hearing, the county commissioner hearing, but also my colleague, Representative Nicole Collier, was holding a public public school town hall because Fort Worth ISD has been taken over by the state.
Yeah.
And so I was able to participate, to speak and let them know who I am, but also to listen to all the concerns that the community has about their public schools there. And I've done that all around the state. I've been able to utilize my colleagues to go to their events or hold events with them and really collaborate and make sure that we have someone who already has those relationships, already knows the legislature inside and out, knows how it works. And I think I really felt strongly that we need a lieutenant governor candidate coming from within the legislature.
Not just knowing how it works, but knowing how it should work too. So you spent so much time there. You're like, this could be better.
Yes, absolutely.
Much better. And then we saw you on Monday in front of the Capitol with Clayton for Agricultural Commissioner. We've had him on the show, and you guys were talking about putting a kibosh on the data centers. Thank you for that too.
Yeah, so many people are really concerned about the issues of how much water and how much electricity these data centers are using. And the companies that are building them out are going to end up putting those costs onto households around Texas. When we went to West Texas in particular, we heard some stories about Abilene has the hugest hyperscale data center there is in the state. And it's caused so many problems besides just water and electricity. It's also caused a huge increase in rent prices. So they had to bring in a lot of employees from out of town and sometimes out of state. They don't have the housing for them. And so a lot of local residents were pushed out of their housing. Rents were raised incredibly, $3,200 a month for an average rent in Abilene, Texas. Right.
No. Wow.
For an apartment?
Right. For an apartment. So lots of problems with the data centers. And at the very least, we should have a debate over how are we handling it? Are we giving away money to these data centers? Because last we gave $1 billion in incentives to the data centers. And even I think this is a bipartisan issue. We've had a lot of Republicans come out really upset with the exponential growth of data centers.
Yeah, I've seen so many people interviewed in rural communities that have one being built right by them. And they are saying, like, we literally have to move. I believe this will be harmful to my children. Like the noise of it, just once it's getting started, like they're like, we can't live here. It's not livable. It's not a place you can live near.
Ooh, so we're giving money to these data centers that are coming here and taking up all this land and pushing people out of their homes. We're also leaving a lot of money on the table by this new ruling on THC that was also pushed forward by our lieutenant governor. We do need a change.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not listening to the people. He's listening to his donors. The THC issue gets back to the alcohol industry saying, hey, we're not selling as much alcohol products and we need something to help us out. They gave him a very nice contribution. And then lo and behold, he works to pass a bill that really a lot of members weren't in favor of. But the lieutenant governor strong arms members in both the Senate and the House to get what he wants. And it did ultimately pass the House and Senate, but when it got to the governor vetoed it. However, then they had the Department of State Health Services basically create a rule that once again made it very difficult to sell THC products. And I'm not going to try to tell you what's legal and what isn't legal because it's super complicated.
Yeah,
it is.
But for a business owner to try to figure it all out, and one day what they're selling is legal, the next day some of those things are and some aren't, it's just an impossible situation for a small business owner. The Texas Hemp Business Council is getting behind my campaign because I say, let's work together and come up with what makes sense. Let's have an age restriction, which there already is, 21 years and up. You can buy these products. Make sure the packaging is such that it's not marketed to kids and that people know what it is they're putting into their bodies when they use these products. But I went to one of the stores just the other day. The door was locked, and while I was turning around to leave the store, a woman walked up, and she was so disappointed that this door was locked. She said, this is where I've been getting a product that really helps me with my rheumatoid arthritis. And, I hear stories like that all the time. It's helpful for people that have pain issues, people with cancer, with MS, with PTSD, so many things. And here now we're making it illegal and confusing. And we could be taxing this product and using that to pay for healthcare.
In public schools.
And public schools. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's my biggest frustration is we are surrounded by a whole bunch of states who have shown that this is not an issue. It is a benefit to the entire state, and adults know how to do this. Like with all the parameters that you listed, it's labeled correctly. There's age restrictions, just like alcohol. We've been able to figure that out. If New Mexico, Colorado, all these other places can figure it out, then surely this big old state can too.
Right. We can. We just need different leadership.
We do. It's already impacting economically too, because like you said, I've seen stores closing too. In my neighborhood, a store has already closed, and I happen to know the owner because I've gone to his other store forever and ever, and I asked him, and he said, no, I had to close it. There's no way I can keep it open.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate because we made this product legal in 2019. And it's been successful. You know, they've built an industry around it, and they're serving a lot of people. And now we've said, no, for no reason, let's just shut down this industry.
I think this issue in particular will awaken a lot of people who think they don't care about politics. Because I will say, just yesterday, I saw a friend make a post, and I've never seen him make a political post in his life. But he is a chef who he makes basically infused dinners. He has these fancy infused dinners. Well, he had to put out a thing because he said he was getting flooded with questions. Like, what does this mean? Will you still have your dinners? Like, blah, blah. And so he had to put out this whole big statement. And then he said in his statement, what we have to do is we have to get ready to vote this year, because he was like, this has changed my life, how I look at this. And he was like, we got to vote for Vikki Goodwin. And I was like, yes!
You know, that's funny because a friend of mine just told a story about how his father-in-law had voted for Trump 3 times, but his father-in-law said, now who's responsible for these school vouchers? And the friend said, that's Abbott and Patrick. And he said, and who's responsible for taking away THC? And he said, that's Abbott and Patrick. And he said, who's responsible for these data centers? That's Abbott and Patrick. And so he's like, I'm voting for Hinojosa and Goodwin.
Honestly, anything you don't like in this state for the last 30 years, you just need to look to the right. Like that's your answer. For the last 30 years, if there's something that has happened that you don't like, that's who did it.
It's real funny how they're out there right now being like, let us fix this and let us fix that. And it's like, you have literally held the whole reins for 30 years. Like, shush.
I'll say the governor is really good about doing that. He's like, I'm going to pull together a teacher commission and see why our teachers are wanting to leave the profession. Oh, we're going to put a moratorium on data centers. And, you know, he's really good about making it seem like he's listening to his constituents. But Dan Patrick, what has Dan Patrick said or done?
Nothing to us. He's been running to the White House to try to get the 10 Commandments in all the schools. Like, he's not talking to us.
No.
Yeah. It's all about religious freedom.
Yeah.
Over and over. Yeah. His religion or the highway.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
So if, let's say we have somebody that is just scrolling real quick and you had to catch them for like just enough time to get 3 points that you are running for, what would be those 3 things that you would want them to for sure get before they kept swiping to look at cat videos?
So what I want to do is support our public schools, fix our broken healthcare system, and address affordability. That's what I can do as lieutenant governor, and I want to be the first woman lieutenant governor in Texas.
We do too. We do too.
Yes. Cannot wait to vote for you this fall.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, 2 women leading the state. How amazing would that be?
Just
competency.
Common sense and competency. Yeah.
Women, that's really we've got that cornered. Competency.
That's right. You know, we bring a different perspective. Oh, and I also have to throw out there my wonderful colleague, Sarah Eckhart, who's running for comptroller. I love her catchphrase is, we need a watchdog, not a lapdog.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
We're trying to get her on here.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of women, and we are going to turn things around. I say we're going to turn this ship around when we get in office, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done every day on the campaign trail. I'll say, here are my 4 top issues, and people will bring up additional things. And it's like, you know what,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of work to do. Like the professors, I hear a lot of professors say there's a big brain drain because we've made it difficult. Like college is when young people should be talking about all sorts of things, not feeling like, oh, I can't talk about that, I might get in trouble. We need to make sure it's a welcoming state again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for giving me hope. But honestly, to think of you and Gina and Sarah and all these other Democrats that we're going to elect to leadership, like to think of how much Texas could change for all Texans is a really big deal.
Thank you. Yeah, it's exciting.
It
To
is.
think about. And someone always reminds me, we've got to tell people October 19th is when you go to vote.
Yep,
That's
we're going to
right.
be very much October 19th through 30th. That's when we're voting.
That's right. We're going to be pushing for early voting for sure.
Yeah, I love what y'all do and the name of your group. That's Funky East Dallas. And that's right where I grew up. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, you're local. Thank you, Vikki. We really appreciate having you.
Yes, thank you so much for your time.
I
Good
appreciate
luck.
it. Bye.
Bye. What a phenomenal person. I love when people who have already been in the sausage making business go, there's a better recipe. Instead of just like, so, I mean, outsiders are great, for real. They are great. But there's something to be said about somebody looking around going, this can be better.
Well, it is the differentiator for her candidacy from like the last decade of people who've run on the Democratic side for lieutenant governor, because it's always been like past legislators or it's kind of been like unrelated people. Yeah. And so you're right. She's in there in the soup, like doing the work. And so she has been there enough to see like exactly how the right person could make a real difference for for Texans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
she definitely has the right purpose.
And it's exactly the kind of person we need. Just like I told Representative Goodwin, it's like every time I look up, Dan Patrick's in DC. It's like, baby, your job is here. Like, if you don't want the job, you don't even want to be here, then what are we doing?
Doesn't seem very interested in the actual job of helping Texans, because he doesn't seem to be listening. Like the issues he's pushing are literally the opposite of what most Texans want. Texans want to fund public schools, not defund public schools, which is what they've done.
Girl.
And we want to, yeah.
And
we want to legalize cannabis, not freaking ban it. Like insane.
New Mexico, Colorado, the entire West Coast, pockets of the East Coast have it all figured out. And they have proven that this is not a hindrance or problem. In fact, it may be lessening issues because
they've said.
Yeah.
Crime has gone down. Traffic accidents have gone down.
Yep.
Like they've done studies of this in Colorado. They made like something like 3 times as much, like money to put towards schools as they had projected in Colorado. Like there's not a negative. And like the whole reason why, right, the alcohol lobbies are all fighting this is because it has increased or decreased alcoholism like hugely. It's been a huge boon for that situation.
Yeah. And also not making weed legal is not going to drive people to start drinking more, especially these next generations, because they are not interested in getting drunk, falling all over the place. They're not even interested in sex. So what makes you think that they'd be interested in your watered down wheat-based beverage that you like to call beer? To all of this is the main reason why weed has never been legal. Well, it was legal. This is the main reason why there has been these strong rules and laws against weed, is because it always led to a decrease of alcohol. And it is better for you.
Which is a positive, so...
Yeah. Smoking
How
is
many
better
people
for
have you lost to pot? 0? And I have lost multiple people to alcohol. So
I have lost people to pot in their train of thoughts.
Well, that's but that's okay. It still leads to an interesting conversation.
It's like we're sitting down, laughing about nonsense, watching SpongeBob, or in my case, I used to love watching Frasier because it's just ridiculous. Just him and Niles, just the ridiculousness was just always so funny to me.
There's too many MAGAs on that show.
No, I know. This is definitely me.
I know, it's way before.
In the 90s. Yeah, this is reruns. Yeah, it's like we're just vibing out, having fun, joking, enjoying life. That's what you're taking away from people. You're taking away the enjoyment of their life. or the lessening of their anxiety.
I was going to say, or the only thing that can get them out of the house. Like for people with bad PTSD and anxiety, it is literally life changing. Or people with seizures. One of my friends, her son has seizures and they had to move out of state because of this. Like he cannot live somewhere where he can't get the stuff he needs. It literally has changed his life. And they moved away years ago because of this.
Yeah.
Because they could buy it in Colorado. So they were like, that's it. We have to go. Like, we can't live like this.
Thank you for getting Rep Goodwin on the show. That was fantastic.
Yeah, she's great.
Fantastic conversation.
I'm excited about her.
Yeah.
And she's right, man, to put a bunch of women in leadership in Texas.
We've seen it. We've seen it. We saw it with Ann Richards.
With Ann Richards,
We've seen it. Like the no nonsense. It's like, this is all bull. Let's just do the right thing the first time and just keep it moving. And honest to God, if you don't like how things are happening, if you don't like the school system, if you don't like our healthcare system, if you don't like how our food is being treated, how our ranchers are being treated, if you don't like that they're putting up a big ass wall in one of our national parks that everybody is saying, environmentalists, conservationists, citizens, politicians in that area are all saying this is a bad thing. If you don't like that, for 30 years, the Republicans have been in charge in this state. For 30 years. It's been nonstop. George Bush said no child left behind, and all we have is children left behind in this state.
Man, ain't that the truth?
So just try. I'm not saying that everything is going to be roses and it's going to be great and they'll get it right all the time the first time. That's not how politics works. But we cannot keep putting the same people who have ruined this state in charge anymore.
That is the point, because it's like, how do we get everyone to let go of the apathy? Because the apathy is fair and reasonable, right? To be like, I don't care anymore because nothing, I vote every time and it doesn't do anything. Like, I can understand people feeling that way because that's factual. But right, how do you let go of the apathy and get someone excited to vote, and also tell them, but no, we may elect every single Democrat on the ballot and they can't do everything the first cycle, right? It's like, we still will have stuff to navigate because there's laws in place to change, and everything takes time. Government, legislating, all those things just takes time. And so while we need to be pressing everyone to get in the game and care to vote and all that, we also do have to temper that, and then you're also going to have to vote again. Like, you're going to have to keep voting. Elections are all the time. Voting is all the time.
This is how we sell it.
How?
It took them 30 years to it up. It cannot take 4 years to fix it. It just won't. It won't take 4 or 6 years to fix this 30-year thing.
Yeah, that's
this is
a
3
really great
decades.
point.
This is a generation of people.
Yep. And in America, it's since 1980. So you're right. I mean, decades of shit to fix. I mean, it's
you cannot fix it in 4 to 6 years. We cannot. So we are asking you to try something new. And then we're going to ask you to give them a little bit more grace and more time, because
and stay engaged.
Moment. Yes, because if you look at it on a federal level, you voted one time to not let Trump get back in the White House. One time. 4 years of reprieve. I didn't have to check the news all the time.
No one knew what was happening in the news anymore. People didn't even care about
we weren't doing a podcast.
People could have brunches again.
Yeah. When Sleepy Joe was sleeping, so was I. I didn't have to worry about anything. And then the moment he got back in there, after you only gave Biden and his administration and his team 4 years, things got worse.
Noticeably. Immediately.
Just smash and grab. Smash and grab, everybody. So 4 years is not enough. 6 years is not enough. We need to give people a chance to fix 30 years of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we sell it.
And it's really, if the people are engaged, if the people are communicating with their different levels of people who are elected to represent them, whether it be, your local, your city and county representation, but also your state representation, your federal representation. If you are messaging with the people who represent you, you're staying on their butts. If they are hearing from the people, that's how you keep them aligned. We all know, there's a lot of sway out there with these lobby groups and all this stuff, right? So, but if the people stay on them, they're gonna do what the people want, and that's the only way we get representative government, is when we all stay engaged.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that happened in Fort Worth is a great example of that. Because,
Perfect example.
Yeah, because they literally, it was on the agenda. They were passing that. That was like, it was considered a done deal.
Yeah.
They didn't even, they were like gonna listen to the people, but it was more like a formality. Like it was a done deal. They were going to pass that and slash half of the voting locations in Fort Worth and Tarrant County. And because hundreds of people wrote letters and then hundreds of people showed up to speak, they couldn't just pass it. There was no way. They would have burned that building down had they tried to do that on Monday or yesterday. So they had to put that on hold and not do it. And that's the power of the people taking action and engaging in the issue.
I mean, and the other thing we have to keep impressing is these people are not our bosses. We're their bosses.
Boom.
And the fact that they just want to we're just going to do this. No, you're not. And the fact that they were shutting it down and dragging people out. In what world could you just have your boss dragged out? When you think about it, in what world could you just say, hey, drag my boss out? Girl, I wish.
And if you were watching that stuff, it was crazy. It was like anytime the person speaking said something that offended them, they'd be like, that's it. And that's like you said, they work for they can say whatever the hell they want to. They can't tell citizens what they're allowed to say to them. That's insane. And then if someone clapped, if just one person went like that, that's it. Shut it out. Send everyone out.
That's been happening all over the country. Yeah. Any outburst. It's like, this is not a court. You're not a judge. We're having a meeting.
This is a people's house, man. When we're in there together, it's our building.
Feedback.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot shut me up. You can't drag me out. I mean, you also live in this community. You think you're going to get a spitless meal? What is wrong?
Oh,
like, how are they so
never again
stupid? How are they this dumb to think that they could just do whatever? And then, I'm going to go home now. The other thing I'm going to drive home is that it's important that, because I say this on all the social media that I'm on, because people just from outside of Texas, they love to be like, well, they voted for it. Well, they voted for it. No, we didn't.
No, we did not.
In fact, we did not vote for this. And that is the problem.
That is exactly the problem.
200,000 people votes was the separation, I think, from Beto and Ted Cruz.
Yeah,
200,000. And there was like millions of people who were registered to vote as Democrats who did not vote.
Like 8 million.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
If we just had a fraction of those registered Democrats who did not vote in the election between Beto and Ted Cruz would not be our senator right now.
When you hear this, it will be very frustrating, but it's a fact. If just Dallas County, we increase turnout by 2%, we flip Texas. That's it. Done deal. Dallas County, 2%. That's all we gotta do.
That sounds like my new marching orders.
For real. Let's start this huge competition between Dallas and Houston like they did during the primary. We really need to go after that again. That was really fun. And I think that really helps because like Dallas and Houston, we can flip Texas. That's it. That's all we need is the people of Dallas and the people of Houston to turn out just more, a little bit more. 2 to 3%, y'all. Come on, we can do this.
Texas, we deserve better. And I've got some great news for you. On our slate, we've got better.
We do.
We just need you to show up. You've got 2 weeks and a day to just come in. We'll give you your voter's guide. You watch. We'll tell you everything. Nothing about what we're saying. We're not trying to bamboozle you. We're not trying to sell you. We're not even making money doing this shit.
No.
We're just trying to fix our home. And like I've been saying in our newsletters, politics is like being on a plane going down. You have to put your mask on first and then you can help others. So in this instance, we have to protect our home, our city, our county, and then we can help our neighbors across the state, in our region, and federally.
Nationally. That's a really good
until
one.
we put our mask on first and protect ourselves with better local leadership, then we can't spend time actually helping other people because we will be fighting for our lives. And aren't you tired?
So tired.
Aren't you tired?
So tired. I love the analogy of like, politics as waiting at a bus stop, right? And that you're looking at the thing, and those are the different times, and there's all these different routes. Not any one of them is perfect. Not any route's going to pick you up at your front door and drop you off at this next place's door, right?
Well,
That's not how transportation works.
Can't.
You
No,
get
actually, I have a
options,
bus
and you
stop
have to
right
choose
here.
your best option.
Yeah,
What's that?
sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually have a bus stop right here and a train stop right there. So
Well, but
can't relate.
it probably doesn't. You can get in the bus and then it take
Yeah,
you
no, you're right.
exactly to North Park door or whatever,
Yeah,
wherever
yeah,
you're
yeah, no,
going,
you're right.
right?
You're right.
Like,
You're right. Yeah, yeah,
but you take the bus that's going the direction that you're going in,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you would maybe have to take another bus. But you need to take that first bus. You got to take the one that's there for you.
Yeah, yeah,
and the
yeah,
one
yeah.
that's coming for you right now, we've got a bunch of great Democrats on the slate, and every single one may not be your perfect dream. Take what you can get. Let's go. Let's move forward.
I would take an imperfect dream over a perfect nightmare.
Boom. Yes, ma'am.
Hire me, Dems. Hire me.
All right. That's our show. Thanks for watching or listening.
If you'd like to keep up with the news, we have a daily news brief where we talk about the biggest news stories of the day. Nothing too crazy, or actually sometimes it is too crazy, but I don't get too in depth like we do over here. So I'm only here to make you look smart.
And if you want to know what you can do in your communities, how to be an active participant in your government, I put out a weekly newsletter called Organizer's Corner.
That's right. We got you guys so covered on the news politics over here because, like I said, I keep up with the news for you.
And I keep up with the policy for you.
And together we help you become smarter and more consistent voters. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.